Welcome to Daily Zohar. We are at our new location, so new start, new beginning. The Zohar says, "Vayavohu ad Nachal Eshkol," and they came until Nachal Eshkol. Nachal Eshkol is a creek. It's called Eshkol, means a bunch of grapes. For example, Eshkol usually means a bunch of grapes. So probably that's where they pick up those grapes. Or Rabbi Yehuda says, based on the pasuk on Yeshaya, Isaiah 42. כה אמר האל, Hashem borei hashamayim venotehem. So did Hashem, who created heaven and earth in place. כמה יש להם לבני אדם להסתכל בעבודת הקדוש ברוך הוא? How much does a person need to, right on time, how much does a person need to look and to be careful at and to contemplate on creation, on עבודת הקדוש ברוך הוא? כמה יש להם להסתכל בדברי תורה? How much they need to contemplate on דברי תורה? I mean, not only to learn, but when it says להסתכל is to contemplate, means to see what does it have to do with me? How does it affect me? What difference does it make? Not just to go through it. I mean, how many of us really let what they learn in school and high school and college really saturate into them and to have an effect? I mean, we learn history, and it's just like, oh, so I learned history. You learned American history and so on and so forth. And it has no effect on you because you never sat down and contemplated on, wow, what's the reason? Why did they do this? Why did they come to America? Why did they rebel against the British? What was the motive and so on and so forth? What do you learn from that? We said 1,000,000 times, history does not repeat itself. Everybody says history repeats itself. History does not repeat itself. Because the same situation with the same people will never happen. Everything is minute by minute and will never happen again in history of the world. But what does repeat itself are the patterns. And if you don't learn from the historical patterns of what had happened, people can basically run circles around you and tell you that this is what it was and revise history according to what is convenient to them, and you won't even know what hit you. So that's for history. We are not internalizing almost anything that happened to us. We are very on the surface. We scratch the surface almost with anything we do. And unfortunately, there's no difference with our approach to Divrei Torah. Why? Because you would not be able, it's a pattern that you develop. If you develop a pattern of being very superficial, you will be superficial across the board. When anything that you do, you'll be superficial. Maybe there is one exception. You'll be very serious about being superficial. It's the only thing you do seriously. Everything is on the surface. You barely scratch the surface. We sometimes leave less than a mark of a fingerprint on glass, needless to say, to go through it. And that, of course, always makes us feel lost. I was walking in the street today. I was looking at those beautiful houses. Some of the old houses are beautiful. Those real English Tudors that they built, and they are so full of charm and character. And comes a guy, and sometimes those like majestic central hall colonials, and comes a guy, builds the property, and what does he do? Brings a bulldozer, and he digs. Well, what are you digging? You digging to China? What are you digging? And they dig, and then they build this like big monster like this. For what? What was wrong with taking the house that you had, just fix it up a little bit inside, make it nice, put marble on the floor, whatever you want. Don't put marble on the ceiling, it might fall on your head. But just make it comfortable inside and live in it. No. It's not that we need to leave a mark of everything that we do. We need to destroy everything that was here beforehand and to make sure that everybody would notice that we moved into the neighborhood. First of all, you don't really live in the house. You just come to sleep there. That's first of all. Think about it. These are all bedroom neighborhoods. You know, we get up in the morning, we go to work, we come back here to sleep, we get up in the morning, we go to, that's it. It's a bedroom neighborhood. So why do you need to build a $2 million house, but you don't even really spend your time there? Make it comfortable, clean it up, you know, upgrade the piping, the heating, and so on and so forth. But why? It's simple as that, because we are full of fears. We are afraid. We are afraid that nobody would acknowledge us. We're afraid that we are lost. And therefore we need to make a statement, I am here. So that we take a house that is gorgeous and beautiful and full of charm and character, and they'll build this huge, monstrous mausoleum so everybody would see that they're there. It's like these people on the Jackie Robinson, you know, in the cemetery, they build these huge mausoleums exactly where the turns are, so people will actually notice them and says, oh, this is so-and-so, build the mausoleum here. You know what I'm talking about. You go on to Jackie Robinson. Mm-hmm. Those were prime locations because they made the curves like this so people can actually slow down and look at the mausoleums and the people are there. It's a sickness. And why is that? Because we're superficial. So we develop an anxiety on the fact we're superficial because we know the truth that we don't even scratch the surface. So to overcome that, we do those crazy things. But here comes the Zohar, and the Zohar tells you, don't do that. Kama yesh lecha liistakel. Look at the world. Look at Divrei Torah. Look inside. And it says, וכל מי שעוסק בתורה, כאילו מקריב כל הקורבנות שבעולם לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא. Okay, we don't have the temple anymore, and there are many types of sacrifices that we cannot make in terms of bringing offerings and so on and so forth. But if you learn Torah, it's like you brought all of them, including a power of Kohen Gadol, including Korban HaTamid and everything like this. If you kovea itim la Torah, if you sit down and you establish every single day a certain time that you're going to come and learn, in a way, this is like your Korban Tamid. It's the daily offering that you bring. Korban in the morning and Korban at night. We have to learn in the morning, we have to learn at night. I don't understand. Don't you want to bring a Korban? Don't you want to have the Beit HaMikdash? Okay, so we can't do it right now. But yes, we can. We have something greater than that. Sit down and establish a definitive time that you're going to come and learn Torah every single day. This is your Ibet HaKorban Tamid. You want to bring Korban Chatat, or you did an Averah or something. You learn the Torah. It will make you do tshuva. It's like you did a Korban. And it says, and not only that, and on top of that, and even more than that, הם רצו לשים את השעון שם, היה פה איזה שעון, הם רצו לשים אותו שם למעלה.
אתה יכול לשים אותו פה.
זה רק עם איזה מסמר ופטיש, זה הכל. תודה מותק.
הוא היה פה?
כן, היה פה.
אבי היה?
היה.
דבר איתך?
לא. Just stop this one second. לא.
Stop it.